One of the greatest journeys a person can take is the journey to find their true home. Whether it's a place, a group of people, or even a hobby, the term home can mean differently for each person, but it's always where a person can truly feel that they belong. Lucky for our protagonist Noah, he has shown the path to where he can find his place in this world. Noah Locke is a veteran coming home from the war. He travels via bus, looking at the picturesque roads the vehicle travels on. The bus stops at the town near his home. There, he's greeted by the familiar store owner, who admires his achievements. The store owner says his parents would have been very proud of him. Noah nods and continues his journey. He walks miles towards the farmhouse he used to call home. Once he gets there, he finds out that a different family now owns the house and the land. Noah apologizes for the intrusion before walking away. He visits his brother Travis, who is currently in prison. Noah is visibly disappointed, but Travis explains what he's done. Their mother was sick, and their father had already passed away. He only did what he did to get out of the situation he was in. When their mother passed away, Travis was promised he could attend the funeral, but that he should be in chains. So he chose not to attend, and it was hard. Travis asks Noah if he's going to be disowned. Noah says he's the only family he's got. Noah tries to bail out his brother, but the judge is unbending in his decision. All Noah gets is a thank you for his service during the war. With nowhere else to go, Noah decides to travel and camp out, promising to write letters to his brother. For a year, Noah travels across the South. He finds rivers and catches fish for food or to sell to people. He has a knack for knowing if the river contains anything. He doesn't settle in one place, often wandering to the next one. In his travels, he meets a mysterious man named Hoke Moore. Hoke loves fishing too, and he's very perceptive. He knows right away that Noah was a soldier. It's in the way he looks and carries a general cloak of grief around him. Hoke can also see ghosts. He describes it as a gift he got 5 years ago. In fact, Hoke says he can see that there's an old man and a woman traveling with Noah. When Hoke describes them, Noah identifies them as his parents. Something tugs at Noah's heart in knowing his parents care for him from the other side, but he doesn't believe in ghosts. Hoke says neither does he. He prefers the term angels instead. Later, they share the fish Noah caught earlier. Hoke asks if Noah has a destination. The latter says he's just wandering about, waiting for a sign to stop. Hoke mentions a place just beyond the ridge. He calls it the Valley of Light, and it's where he grew up. It's filled with nice and good people, as well as good fishermen too. Noah may want to check the place out, especially the lake. It's called the Lake of No Fish. It's where he can catch the largest bass he can find. It takes time to lure that creature, and it must be aggravated to catch it. After his fill, Hoke gets up and thanks Noah for the meal. Noah asks if he can still see his parents. Hoke says yes, and other soldiers too. Hoke softens up when he says Noah doesn't want to lose anyone in the war, but he advises the young man to lose the cloak of sadness around him. He acknowledges the soldiers' efforts to keep everyone safe. Before leaving, Hoke reiterates that Noah should go beyond the ridge. So, following the old man's advice, Noah follows the path. He eventually finds the valley Hoke mentioned, and the lake where the large bass resides. He feels the water on his palm. Just a few feet away from him, a large fish jumps out of the water. So there's indeed the large bass Hoke was talking about. But Noah will take his time in catching the creature. For now, he'll familiarize himself with the layout of the land. There's a cabin nearby, but he doesn't dare use it for his shelter. Instead, he chooses to walk into town to ask around. On his way, he finds a large farmhouse, where a lady is already out hanging her laundry. Noah chooses to walk on. He reaches the town, a small place already bustling with people. He goes to the general store, which is presumably the center of the town. There, he meets the town's central figures. There's Whitlow Mayfield, the town sheriff, Marshall, his deputy, and Howard Reynolds and his grandson Matthew. They all learn that Noah used to serve in the military, and so they soften their jokes on him. But when they learn that he likes fishing, they tell him about the town's fishing contest. Noah is too early, as the contest will be held 2 weeks from now. Noah says it's not a worry for him. He didn't know about any fishing contest, and he was only there to find jobs to get by. Howard gets up and gives him the task of catching catfish before sundown. If he's satisfied with the catch, he'll pay a dime for each fish. They shake hands on it, and Noah gets his first job in town. Whitlow is impressed with Noah and his steady and calming demeanor. He decides to help the veteran by buying him supplies for his fishing. They enter the general store, where Whitlow introduces Noah to Taylor, the owner. Taylor is a jolly old fellow who is liked by everyone. When asked about what he needs, Noah says he only needs a bag of coffee, a soap bar, and a shirt. A lady enters the store and the men turn around to greet her. Her name is Eleanor. There is something about her that shows serenity and quiet steadiness. She greets the men back before minding her own shopping. Noah turns to Taylor and asks if he knows any jobs around town. Luckily, Taylor has one for the store. The people he hired, Moody and Piavo, who are standing outside the store, don't do the work they're hired for. So if Noah can do the painting job, Taylor will be relieved. Noah turns around and sees Matthew beside him. The boy doesn't speak, and so he doesn't answer when Noah asks him a question. But Noah is kind. He does a magic trick to produce a penny behind the boy's ear, which elicits a sweet smile from Matthew. Eleanor sees this. She's happy that the stranger treats the boy well. Taylor introduces Noah and Eleanor to each other. He tells the woman Noah is a good fish seller, but Eleanor doesn't have an appetite for seafood. She leaves the store, with Noah watching her walk away. Later that afternoon, Noah walks towards the Reynolds residence, carrying a bundle of fish. Howard is impressed. Indeed, Noah knows a thing or two about fishing. He pays the fisher his due. His wife Ada says he should attend church on Sunday. Noah only smiles. He notices that Matthew keeps looking at him. The boy seems to be fascinated with Noah. He camps by the lake that night. He can't seem to sleep, as he's haunted by his memories from the war. The quietness of the place only amplifies the noises and screaming in his head. One of his reasons why he's doing a nomadic lifestyle is because he wants to be one step ahead of his grief. He believes that if he keeps on moving and wandering, the noises in his head will be subdued. But he does wish for one good night's sleep, at the very least. It's already Sunday. People are filling in the church, but Matthew keeps an eye for the kind fisher to show up. But he doesn't. In the next scene, we see Eleanor getting ready for the service. She's the one living in the farmhouse that Noah saw earlier. She's taking care of Granny, her late husband's grandmother, who's brain-addled. She looks devoted and gentle as she makes sure that Granny is comfortable before she leaves for church. On her way, Eleanor sees one of her cows mooing in pain. It so happens that Noah is also walking by. He offers to check on the animal. Upon inspection, Noah says it's too late for the cow. He offers to take care of it so Eleanor won't worry. Later, she brings him some dinner. Eleanor is curious about Noah and his time in the military. She mentions her late husband, Boyd, who also served in the war. Noah expresses his condolences. When asked about what war is like, Noah says with a solemn face that it's something one can't get out of his mind. It's something one can't make sense out of either. Eleanor ponders his answer. Then she leaves after thanking him. Back in the house, Eleanor sighs as Granny insists on having her chocolate. Granny likes chocolate very much, almost to the point of having it every meal. Eleanor hears a knock on the door, and she finds that it's Noah returning her plates. When Granny sees Noah, she smiles like a little girl would when she sees her crush. Noah is a good-looking man, so no one can fault the old lady. Eleanor asks him where he's staying. Noah says he camps near the cabin at the lake. She says he can use the cabin since she owns it. She decides to drive Noah there. Upon arriving there, Eleanor reveals that Boyd ended his life in this place. He returned from war physically unscathed, but a changed man. And when things became too much, he decided to end it all. This explains why the cabin looks abandoned. It holds painful memories for Eleanor, but she decides to open the place up so Noah can use it. She says it's her way of thanking him for helping out with her poor cow earlier. For Noah, this is more than enough. Eleanor says this place is rumored to be haunted, so she reminds Noah to be careful. He walks her back to her car, letting her talk along the way. She says she hasn't talked to anyone that much in a long while, and Granny isn't exactly a conversation expert. However, since Noah has been calling her ma'am since they met, she tells him to stop. She's only 4 years older, which isn't that big of a gap. Noah agrees, but only if she stops calling him Mr. And since then, Noah and Eleanor have been on a first-name basis. That night, he writes a letter to Travis, telling him about the good people he met in the Valley of Light. The next day, Noah returns to the general store to take that painting job. He asks Taylor about the boy named Matthew. Taylor says the boy has been quiet since his parents have gone. The mother passed away, while the father is working somewhere else. Matthew is only comfortable talking to his grandmother Ada. As Noah starts his painting job, Moody and Piavo arrive. The duo is aghast that their job has been given to a stranger. Defeated, they drive away. After his painting job, Noah returns to the lake to dig worms for bait. He sees Matthew observing him from a distance. He calls the boy and teaches him the right ways of collecting worms for bait. Matthew is a quick learner. He soon digs his first worm. Noah continues to educate the boy about different baits for different fish. He even shows him how to catch crickets. Although Matthew doesn't speak a word, his body language shows that he's opening up to Noah. Noah tells him about the large bass that Hoke told him about. He says it's his mission to catch it and show it to everyone. One day, Eleanor visits Noah in the cabin and finds him doing his own haircut. She offers to do it for him. She asks about his family. Noah says his parents have passed, and his brother was unfortunate enough to get himself involved with the wrong guys. He adds that perhaps he's only waiting for his brother to get out before deciding to settle down. After cutting his hair, she shows him the results. Noah stands up, a little too close to Eleanor, and thanks her. She gets a bit flustered and walks away. Noah continues his painting job at the store. He also gets Matthew as his little assistant. The man and the boy bond over painting, talking about the large bass residing in the lake. Meanwhile, Eleanor comes to the cabin to clean it up. It's been a while since she stayed there for a while. She realizes she finds joy in doing such domestic chores in a place that bears a painful memory. And it's all because she wants Noah to be comfortable there. Back in town, Noah and Matthew are taking a little break from their painting duties when Moody and Piavo walk by them. The duo, still bitter about their lost job, have heard about Noah's excellent fishing skills. They challenge him to catch 12 catfish by sundown. If Noah completes it, they'll give him 10 cents apiece. But if he doesn't, they get to keep all the fish for free. Confident, Noah takes the challenge. He asks Matthew to help him, which brightens the boy's face. Later, Noah, Matthew, Moody, and Pivo, together with Taylor and Howard, all go to the lake. Moody and Pivo are confident they're going home with free fish by the end of the day. But Taylor and Howard have seen that Noah is indeed good at fishing. Taylor even bets $3 for Noah to complete his task. Noah is the one that casts the line, while Matthew hauls in the catch and monitors the count. Soon, the basket quickly fills with catfish. A few minutes before sundown, Noah hits a snag. He only needs one more, but the fish is evading him. Taylor even remarks that Noah may have caught all that is available in that spot. Noah maintains his composure while Moody and Piavo are already celebrating. Miraculously, Noah catches the last fish. And it's probably the largest among the bunch. Noah smirks, while Matthew is simply happy he's achieved a milestone in his life. Howard drives Noah home. Before leaving the car, Noah gives Matthew a gift as a thank you for being his partner. The boy is so grateful he hugs Noah. He's the first person with whom Matthew really feels comfortable. When Noah enters the cabin, he's surprised to find it clean. He guesses that it's Eleanor who did the work. Noah is readily accepted in the community. He's starting to feel that this place may be just where he belongs. He continues to teach Matthew to fish. With patience and perseverance, the kid finally makes his first catch. It's clear that Noah has had a good impact on the boy by helping him appreciate fishing. In addition, Noah is like a big brother, or a father, to the boy. The presence of a capable male figure in Matthew's life helps him overcome his sadness when his parents left. Noah writes another letter to Travis, telling him he's finally had a good night's sleep. He advises his younger brother to stay hopeful and to trust that God has a plan for him. In the next scene, we see Eleanor approaching Noah. She puts in an order for fish, as she plans to invite people over for dinner. She tells Noah and Taylor they should come to her house by 5 p.m. Later, we see that people have gathered in Eleanor's kitchen. She is reputed to be a good cook, so everyone's excited about their meal. Howard and Ada sit at both ends of the table. Taylor sits beside Granny, and Matthew, Noah, and Eleanor sit on the other side. As usual, Granny asks for her chocolates. Good thing Noah has brought some for her and Matthew. Ada asks Noah about the places he's been. After enumerating them, Eleanor asks him if he has a favorite place. Noah answers that this valley is the prettiest he's been in, while looking at Eleanor. Everyone at the table notices this interaction, excited about a budding relationship between these two. After the dinner, Eleanor looks through Boyd's military clothes. She realizes that perhaps it's finally time for her to move on from his memories. After packing them in a suitcase, she turns off her lamplight. She's unaware that outside of the house, Noah is waiting for an opportunity to have a private moment with her. But upon seeing the light turn off, he thinks this isn't the right time. Early in the morning the next day, Eleanor visits Noah to give him his breakfast. Flustered, he accidentally calls her ma'am, much to her amusement. He puts on his shirt, then he opens the door and sees her smiling at him. She tells him to get his coffee and fork so he can eat the food by the porch. Eleanor remarks about their dinner last night, which was full of laughter thanks to Taylor. But she admits she was more happy because of Noah. Either he doesn't hear this part, or he's still flustered. Noah says he'll fix the creaking floorboard when he gets the chance. Eleanor gets embarrassed. She tries to hide it. She leaves him his food, then she walks away. He realizes he may have said something wrong. He follows her and tells her he walked by the house last night, hoping to spend some time with her by the porch. She realizes maybe not all is lost. She asks him what he would have done if they got together on the porch. Instead of answering, he shows her. Noah holds her face and kisses her gently. In that instant, they know their connection is more than just friendship and kindness. Blushing, Eleanor bids him goodbye. She walks away with a certain lightness in her steps. Noah is happy to know their feelings are mutual. All is going well in that small town. But there are times when life throws something unpleasant that tests people's faiths. Howard comes to the general store, informing everyone that Matthew has been missing since lunch. Noah immediately takes action, while the other men gather to plan their search. Later, Marshall assembles the town's men at the Reynolds, collecting information. Noah tells them he's gone as far as the bridge, but there's no sign of Matthew. Whitlow arrives with his hounds. It's already afternoon, and they are worried about the boy's safety if they don't find him before night falls. With the help of the hounds, Whitlow leads the search for the missing boy. After hours of searching, the hounds stop at a spot that looks like someone dug in it. Noah recognizes those holes. He correctly assumes that Matthew may have dug for earthworms, and went ahead to go fishing at the lake by himself. Howard says it's impossible, as the boy's been told the place is haunted, but Whitlow thinks it's better to cover all possible grounds. Taylor offers to drive Noah back to his cabin. Noah spends all night looking for the boy. It is only at dawn when he finally makes a break in his search, a heartbreaking discovery. Matthew's body is floating on the water, with his fishing line lying nearby. He must have slipped and, not knowing how to swim, unfortunately drowned. Noah grabs the boy, but it's already too late. He mourns for the boy, the true friend he's made in town. Days later, Noah goes to the Reynolds, as Howard has been asking for him. Noah lowers his head, ashamed and consumed by guilt. He thinks it's his fault for telling Matthew about the large bass and encouraging him to get better at fishing, but Howard doesn't think that. In truth, he recognizes that Noah has been a positive influence in the boy's life. Matthew had a good time with Noah, and Howard, along with everyone else, knows that. The boy missed his father very much, and Noah gave him what he never had. This is a tragic accident, and Noah shouldn't blame himself for it. After the funeral services, Noah has made up his mind. He's not good for the Valley of Light. He's in the middle of packing when Eleanor finds him. She tries to make him realize it's not his fault. He had no way to know what the boy intended to do. When you love someone, you love them wholeheartedly when you have the chance. And Eleanor saw that genuine connection between the man and the boy. Still, Noah won't listen. She pushes through. She tells him when she first saw him, she thought he was sent by an angel. She thinks she's just making things up. But it's true that everyone is just hoping to see that sign, the guide that will show them their true purpose in life. If Noah never saw his sign, then maybe he's the sign sent for Matthew, and perhaps for her. She also mentions him leaving. Is running away his answer to every pain he feels? Maybe in his travels he'll find another valley that never experienced heartache. But Eleanor will wager it's a loveless place. After pondering his conversation with her, Noah decides to stay a little while, at least to finish the upcoming fishing competition. Howards and Whitlow have prepared a lot for the event. Howard thinks it would please Matthew if they go through something he loves doing. People gather around the lake to witness the participants get their fishing line ready. Most of them are there to see Noah fish, as his reputation is spread throughout the town. However, he's not there. On the other hand, Taylor spots Little Barry Davis, their reigning champion for the fishing contest. In truth, Noah is at the cabin. True to his words, he fixes the creaking floorboards. After that, he finally focuses on catching that mythical bass that Hoke told him before, the creature that lured Matthew into the afterlife. There's determination in his eyes as he casts his line. He waits patiently. Soon his target bites the bait. The bass has grown so much since Noah first saw it. The man tugs his line, bent on pulling the stubborn creature in. Eventually, he reels in the large bass. It is the largest he's caught since he got there. Noah picks up his axe, ready to cut the fish's head. Just before he swings, he realizes this is not it. This is not how he must cope with grief, even though he knows this creature is the reason Matthew is gone. In the end, he lets it back into the water. Much later, Eleanor comes to the cabin, only to find it empty. He sees the letter Noah left for her. It says, if he believes, for a moment, in those signs she mentioned, he would have tried to be one for her. Noah catches a bus ride out of the Valley of Light. He writes a letter to his brother, saying he's moving on again. He looks up and sees a man intently looking at him. This man is Little Barry Davis. He's been wanting to meet Noah, as he's also heard about the latter's excellent fishing reputation. He asks Noah where he's headed, to which the latter replies nowhere in particular. Littleberry invites him to the South Lake, where one can find good bass too. He then mentions this old man who's told him about this monstrous fish found in the lake where Noah used to stay. Littleberry tried to stay a couple of nights there just to catch that legendary fish, but to no avail. Since then, Littleberry thinks old Hoke is just a joke. Noah pays attention to him, so this man has also met Hoke Moore. Noah says he's the same man who told him the same story. Littleberry asks him where he met Hoke. Then he reveals that the old man has actually passed away 5 years ago. His remains were buried near the place where Noah met him. Littleberry says Hoke was the best fisherman he's met. He sees Noah's pale face, remarking that he looks as if he's seen a ghost. Well, Noah technically did when he met Hoke. All the conversations he's had about angels guiding their paths and about people looking for signs of their purpose all come to Noah. All along, he's been given his own sign to show him where he truly belongs. He stops the bus, gets off it, and walks back to the Valley of Light. Through a voiceover, Noah writes to Travis that he's traveled for a long time, trying to stay ahead of the grief. But then he's been given the stop sign, and now he's overtaken by the certainty that everyone has a purpose in life. And Noah has found him in this little valley filled with love. He gives the directions to Travis, saying that when he's found the bridge, he's almost home. Then, at the end of the movie, we see Noah walking towards the farmhouse, where he sees the silhouette of Eleanor hanging her laundry. Finally, he's home.